All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is Israel will keep doing this. Now, ultimately, I'm going to just get into the fact about, Israel going into Lebanon, messing up the deal with, America. All right. And, Lord willing is edifying. Get into the lesson. All right. So just jumping over into the scriptures, Jeremiah 50 and 45 says, Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Shai that he have taken against Babylon and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Says, Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make the habitation desolate with them. All right. And ultimately, we know that Babylon is talking about America, right? The Chaldeans is talking about the land of America. And the least of the flock is talking about the small hatters, right? The 1948ers. And again, they're dragging out or drawing out America to this war. Ongoing bills and negotiations are in place, and Israel is still attacking, right? Drawing out America to the war. Psalms 55 and 20 says, Psalms 55 and 20, he had put forth his sentence against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet with a drawn swords. All right. So America has broken his covenant. Different peace treaties and bills, they have already bombed Iran, multiple times. But it was because this is what the small hatters wanted them to do. And every time there's some type of peace agreement in play, the small hatters, go in and attack like a neighbor of Iran, basically. And now they're attacking, Lebanon again. So I got this here. It says Israel will keep doing this. It says Israel is continuing its extended military operation in Gaza and Lebanon to achieve its stated war objectives. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, right, has directed forces to expand territorial control despite ongoing international negotiations and fragile ceasefire agreements. So this is the least of the flock drawing out, America to this war. America is trying to make peace, and Israel is fighting still. Right? The scripture say, when they shall say peace and safety, then certain destruction comes upon them. And now it's upon Lebanon. Right? I want to grab this first, and I'll grab this video. Just real quick. Says top German diplomat calls on Israel, Hezbollah, to return to ceasefire. Now, this is posted May 31st. Said German Foreign Minister Johann Waifel has called on Israel and Hezbollah to return to ceasefire, adding that talks between Israel, Lebanon, and Washington are the right channel for achieving results. Any further advance of the Israeli army in southern Lebanon causes serious concern, he said, as cited by the DPA agency. He called on Israel to spare civilians and civilian infrastructure during its operation against Hezbollah. Any further escalation will only aggravate the tense situation and provoke new waves of displacements of the population in Lebanon, he said. He admitted that Israel has legitimate security interests, but when the civilians pay the price of the military escalation, whole areas in Lebanon become unfit for living. This will not help Israel ensure long-term security. Well, we know that these devils talking about the Greater Israel Project. All right, so they want a lot of people out of those areas anyway. That's what they're doing. So according to the top German diplomat, the key to stabilization in Lebanon is the strengthening of the Lebanese state. And to make this happen, the country's government must establish a monopoly on the use of forces fought against Hezbollah. The Israeli-Lebanese talks in Washington are the right channel for achieving results, Wakeful said, adding that Hezbollah must not continue torpedoing this peace process. Right? Let's see what torpedoing. It says torpedoing is the act of distracting or sinking a ship using a self-propelled underwater explosive. Yeah, it says aggressively undermining or wrecking efforts such as a peace treaty, business deal, or political referendum. It says Israeli and shit. That's what Israel is doing. All right. Israel is torpedoing the peace process and drawing out America. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said earlier that the Israeli army had established control of a key strategic height north of the Litani River in Lebanon, home to Crusader Fortress of Beaufort, located at an altitude of 300 meters, 100 kilometers south of Beirut. The Crusaders captured the site in 1139 and built a fortress there, which subsequently changed hands many times. By the early 20th century, the castle was in ruins, but the commanding heights retained their strategic military significance. In the 1970s, Palestine Liberation Organization units established presence there, shelling Israeli territory. They were driven out by Israeli forces in 1982. Israel controlled Beaufort until 2000 and used the area as a military base after the Israeli army withdrew from Lebanon in 2000. Therefore, became a stronghold for Hezbollah militias. Right. You know, so ultimately they want peace, right? But Israel is not allowing that to happen. So this was posted 49 minutes ago today, the 31st. It says Israeli forces make historic push inside Lebanon and complicate an Iran deal. And again, that just goes back to them drawing out America, right? Because Iran has already said, you know, if Israel does anything, you know, we're going to attack you also, right? So America has nowhere to go, no escape, and Israel is constantly just attacking.
Israeli ground troops in Lebanon captured a strategic castle, marking their deepest incursion to the country in 26 years. The last time the Israeli ground troops in Lebanon captured a strategic castle, marking their deepest incursion to the country in 26 years. The last time the Israeli military were at the Beaufort Castle was in the tail end of their 18-year occupation in the year 2000, just before their withdrawal. This is part of a days-long expansion of military activity in Lebanon. Ground troops have pushed deeper into the country, and the airstrikes have certainly widened. It's unclear what the goal of this expansion is going to be, but attacks have certainly increased since a nominal ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon went into effect in April 17. On top of that, these attacks come just a couple of days before Lebanon and Israel are set to meet at the State Department in Washington, D.C. to continue negotiations, where Lebanon is hoping to reach a complete ceasefire before they go into negotiations and talks over a whole list of other things, including Israeli withdrawal and disarming Hezbollah. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the capturing of the Beaufort Castle was a dramatic shift in policy. It is unclear to what extent Israel is going to continue expanding their attacks and where the end goal is. Hezbollah, in return, continues to claim attacks on Israeli troops in Lebanon and in northern border towns. However, over the past 24 hours, they have claimed attacks deeper into northern Israel, including just north of the city of Haifa and in Nahariya. And it is unclear how they're going to shift their strategy as Israel continues to intensify their attacks in Lebanon. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes and shelling continues across southern Lebanon, including around the coastal city of Tyre, Lebanon's fourth largest city, as they continue to push closer towards the city of Nabateeh.
Right. So I just want to bring that out, you know, point out that Israel is going to keep doing this. Even when it's captured, they might be satisfied for a while. Maybe some type of ceasefire peace thing might happen where they can rearm, but ultimately, there will be no peace, basically, because Israel already said they wanted the Greater Israel Project. They already said they've been working this for like 47 years to accomplish their goals and do that. You know, so we have to see, what happens with the deal that's going to be made, what Iran does, says about this event or whatnot. But I just want to bring it out, right? So, Lord willing, you edify from the lesson, Shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.